feel like you downplayed it. You're like, I went from signing my friends to Grant Cardone. Like that's maybe the biggest leap in client quality of all time.
It was,
Like,
I mean,
not necessarily quality, but like notoriety.
yeah, I mean, but it came so fast. Like, and that was the thing too.
How'd you sign him?
Well, so I'm very big on networking, and like one of the things like, and I've always been, I'm always been very good at talking to females and making friends, and that was a skill set that kind of like my dad instilled in me. He said you should always be the guy that knows the guy,
Being the guy, I love that.
And I was like, okay, so like I was always kind of the weird kid in high school. I was the extreme sport athlete guy. Like we never really had we had our other we had skateboarders, rollerbladers, and then BMXers. And none of us really hung out together. It was like you clicked up, and there weren't as many BMXers as there were everywhere else. So it's like I always found myself being friends with like the jocks, and then I was friends with like the cheerleaders, and I was friends with like maybe the book club. Like I always just found myself and I always found there was always a benefit in knowing somebody in different social circles. So I applied that to like my business when I started, especially with TikTok, because I'm like, nobody knows this shit yet. So like, is there a Facebook group about TikTok? And sure enough, there was one. It was TikTok Marketing Secrets, which is, is a guy, he's a friend of mine, Michael Sanchez. He had like 500 people in the group when I joined it. And now it's like almost over 20,000, I think. But like, and I've always been a fan of paying for friends, as in like I need to pay for access to talk to certain people. And Michael did not know who I was. I joined his Facebook group. I understood that. And he offered like $100 consultings. So instead of buying just one consulting, like at the time I was running 3 accounts. We were growing 3 accounts. So I bought 3 consultings, $300. It was like the best $300 I've ever spent. But I didn't pay for it all at once either. I paid $100 at a time, so he saw my name 3 times.
Yeah, I heard this.
Yeah, and then he reached out. We scheduled our calls, and I did my account last. The first one was Overtime Athletes, which is my friend Chris. I still run his account to this day. He's a good friend of mine. The other one was Elliot Hulse, still my friend to this day.
He's a beast, yeah.
Yeah, he's been banned. Like we have, 3 or 4 different accounts banned for Elliot. Like he's aggressive. I love Elliot.
He's a beast.
But then, then he got to mine. And he was like, oh, I've seen this athlete account. Oh, I've seen Elliot's account. I didn't know you were the one running this. And then he got to my account. He's like, dude, you're that guy who's making the edited videos on TikTok. I show your videos to my mastermind group. And because I was practicing what I preach, we became acquaintances, if you will.
Yeah.
And then he led to that $300. A week later led to Adley Stump making a post in his Facebook group, looking to start making TikToks. I'm already proven to go viral. And there was a lot of comments on recommending video editors, but then Michael commented, I only trust @RyanMagin. So I landed Adley.
Yeah.
And then a month or 2 later, same thing. He saw my results with Adley because she was already at like a $500,000 really quick. And I guess Cardone's team had reached out to him because he owned the group, asking best practices for editing clips into TikToks. And they were like, who do you know that can do this, that we can hire? And he recommended me.
Wow.
And then literally it was a Facebook message from Michael to me that said, hey, do you have any room for more clients? And I was like, obviously. I was like,
of course.
I was like still kind of broke at the time. I was like, absolutely. I mean, availability is kind of thin. I don't know. Depends on the
Let me check with my assistant.
Yeah, depends on the client.
It's like Grant Cardone. He's like, oh, I'll see if I can fit
And
him
then
in.
he's like, Grant's team's going to be reaching out to you. And I was like, get the fuck out of here. He's like, no. Jared's going to contact you. And he's like, I gave him your phone number because we had exchanged phone numbers because of Adley. And sure enough, like 3 o'clock or so the next day, but this is where like, I've been selling my whole life. Like I used to work at Lowe's Home Improvement. I sold doors and windows. I was a top salesman in the door and window department, big achievement. But I credit Lowe's, like retail as a whole really taught me how to cold approach selling.
Yeah.
Because I had to convince people to buy the higher end stuff because I made commission on that. I didn't make any commission if they just walked off the floor with it. So early on I started being like features, benefits, like, and I mean, there were certain things that were very easy to sell, but at the same point, like I learned, I would just walk up to people. How can I help you today? You guys looking for a door? Cool. You need windows? Awesome. What's that? So, and that translated into like, I'm talking to, Jared and Alan on speakerphone, and I'm like, they're like, yeah, so, you know, we recommended you, like, you know, what can you do? And I was like, well, I mean, let's be real. There's nobody else doing this. So I'm the only person. And my track record so far is this, and this, because, like, it was 3 accounts to 100K in less than 90 days. You know, and I was like, and I literally said, you know, the guarantee was, if I don't get you 100,000 followers in 90 days, I'll edit your account for free until I do. And I've done this 3 times already. So really the question is do you want to invest in TikTok? Because, again, they were very early on, too. Like, this was still not a thing yet. There was no Reels, no Shorts, nothing. It was just TikTok. And I said, so I guess and they're like, well, yeah, we want to be an early adopter. And I was like, well, I guess the next question is, I'm going to throw out a number, and you're going to say yes or no. And I threw out, and at the time, that was like the $3K a month, and that was the most, you know, and they said yes. And we had Grant Cardone 100,000 followers in like 26 days. And we've been, you know, thankfully, like, and I was very, like, you know, we signed an NDA. Like, I was very, like, we worked with them for like 6 months before I even asked them for anything, because we were just clipping their stuff. And I had a call with Alan, who's like my main point of contact, and he was like, I was like, hey, because I wanted to get more from Grant. I was like, we can do more, we can get better results, but we need this, and this. Like, and I was like, oh my God, dude, we forgot we were working with you guys, because every time we just check the account, there's results, and we're like, yo, they're doing a great job. And like, we just forgot. And I was like, you know, and I was like, well, that's cool. I was like, can we do more? Like, you know, and then, you know, that's, you know, we've upped the volume. Like, you know, I'm Grant, they pay more than that now, but we do a lot more work for them too. But that guarantee was, you know, it was like my money back guarantee. And I never said that you would stop working with me. I just said we would get you this, and I would pause the billing until we got you to 100K, and then I would just restart as if nothing happened.
Yeah.
Hey guys, if you enjoyed this short clip, check out the full interview here. And if you want to see more clips from this episode, check it out right here.